if you play TCG, I'm sure you've experienced this by now. You're playing a game and you get your starting hand and you see exactly what you need. We call that God Hand. Sometimes you get God Hand, sometimes you don't. A lot of times you don't get God Hand. Typically, whenever you're in a tournament, you kind of just have to make do with what you have. But every now and then, you get God Hand. And I had God Hand this specific game that you guys are about to see. So you guys are going to see a perfect unraveling of the perfect yellow-green law game. So let's get right into it. All right, guys, so we're getting right into this game right here. We are playing against none other than Black Starter Deck Luffy. So if you guys don't know this deck, it's pretty strong. It has a lot of support. It has a lot of great weapons. It has the Brook. It has the Sanji. It has a lot of great options, and it's also going to be a 6K leader. So, but playing as Yellow-Green Law, we're not really scared of 6K leaders, mainly because, you know, a lot of the times we're going to have a Dawn on our leader already, and we're going to be shooting a 6K attack pretty much every turn after the first. So starting it off, we opt to go first. First search of the game, I hit my one alt, my one Luffy searcher alt. Gotta feel good. Speaking of God Hand already, right? So I hit the one of 4 alts that I have to start the game. Typically when I'm searching, I like to look for my secret laws and for my Cavendish on the very first search of the game, and I grab the secret law right there. So perfect first Dawn play, perfect search already. We're looking good. My opponent hits his own search and he grabs a 2K Toshigi, trashes a Hina, and trashes a Garp. Back to us, we're at 3 Dawn. I'm gonna tap 1 for another Luffy searcher. Love to see that. And I'm going to grab Cavendish off the second search. Again, another great target. What more could you ask for? Cavendish and Secret Law. Now I could play both of them. And then I'm going to tap 2 Dawn to play the Bonnie Searcher. It's going to be my 3rd search of the game. Let's see what I grab here. So, you know, hand's looking pretty good already. You know, hitting 3 searches to start the game is, you know, it's God Hand. I'm going to admit it, you know, like, hitting 3 searches. We do have 12 available searchers. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the 2K right here. We do have 12 searchers in the deck. And then, of course, I swing 5. Let's see what my opponent ends up giving me here. Gives me the Rebecca. Love to see that. So we do run 12 searches, right? Some games I start the game without even seeing one. And that's just the nature of the game. You have to learn how to win games with or without your searchers. You have to build your deck in a way where you have different ways to win. And Yellow-Green Law is no stranger to that. My opponent is going to go ahead and search with a brand new, and he's going to grab the 1-cost searcher. It looks like he's searching for a specific card. He's going to go ahead and tap 1 more Dawn, and then he's going to grab the Sengoku. Sengoku going to be a blocker. And I believe it double plays something from trash. Kind of like a little Gecko Moria effect. And then my opponent's going to swing 3 into my Bonnie and then swing 6 to life. I'm going to take it. Usually it's Yellow-Green Law. We always take our first 2 life hits. Never counter out because, you know, we're all right with that. So on 5 Dawn, I'm going to tap 5 to bring out the Cavendish, restand 2. And then I'm going to tap 1 Dawn for the beige to grab top life. And I'm going to play a blocker law on top. This is the staple 5 Dawn play. If you can hit this 5 Dawn play, it's, you know, it's insanely good. Cavendish beige into blocker law into what you're about to see what I'm about to play. I use leader ability, bounce the beige to hand, play law, bounce Luffy to hand, and play the Capone beige blocker. Picture perfect turn. This is literally, there is no better start that I could have had to this game. There's no better start. 3 searchers, and then on my 5 Dawn play the Cavendish into beige, into law, into beige. Come on, what more can you ask for? This is God Hand at its finest, but it is God Hand, but you have to know about how to do this combo for you to even do it in the first place, right? If I wouldn't have searched for that Cavendish in my second search of the game, I wouldn't have had access to this play. My opponent swings 6, I block for 6, and then I give 1K, and then he hard plays his 2K T-Bone to KO my beige, right? So yes, it's God Hand, but you have to know what you're looking for, right? I have the Secret Law from the first search of the game, which I'm going to play now because I'm at 7 Dawn, right? The Cavendish is already on the field from when I played it on my second search of the game. So it's all about knowing the combos and finding the right pieces. So right here I tap 7, and then I play the restand law on top of my life. What more can you ask for? I have a Cavendish on field, so it is going to get restood. So I swing 6, restand 2 Don. All right, my opponent gives me a 2K. Let's see. I use leader ability to bounce the Luffy to hand, restand Cavendish, swing 6 again to life, restand another 2 Don. So now I'm at 4 active Don. Like, right, this is literally bread and butter. This, you're seeing the combos at its full capacity right here. Hit your searchers early, Cavendish on 5, Seeker Law on 7. Just because I have the restand law, it just makes it even crazier, this combo. But you know, if the restand law was any other 5-drop, it would have been just as good. I tap 2 Don to play another blocker beige and pass. So perfect right here. I established a huge board, and then on top of that I threw down the brand new OP11 beige that's going to be protecting my whole board from KO. Anything that gets KO'd is going to be sent to the top of my life instead, because I have this beige on the field. So my opponent is pretty bottlenecked into only being able to attack this beige with his removal. He could choose a different body, but instead of getting KO'd, it would just get sent to the top of my life. My opponent swings 5 to my leader. I give a 1K counter. The Luffy I just bounced back. My board is looking pretty menacing right now. My opponent plays his Sengoku and is going to play the Kuzan, rested, draw a card, and then swing 6 with leader. I do have 2 life. I don't know if I want to go down. I have a lot of cards in hand, so I'm going to make use of them. Oh no, he swings 7K because his leader was a 6K leader. And then I give a 2-1. All right. You may have you could argue probably take a life hit right there, but you know, I had the counter in hand. I had 3 searches early, right? So I have 3 extra cards in hand. So I'm gonna start it off with a big swing to life, 9 to life. All right, attach some Don to leader. I mean to this law right here. I'm gonna swing 9 to life. My opponent takes that as well. He does have a blocker on the field, so I am seeing what I can do right here. Use leader ability to bounce the restand law back to hand. And then I'm going to swing a big 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 to lead. Restand 2. My opponent is going to give me his blocker. All right, we'll take that one. And, you know, I got some options now. I have 2 blockers that are still active. My opponent has 0 life. He's forced to play a blocker next turn, or I can just end it. So we're in a pretty commanding seat right now. I don't have to force it. I can just leave these 2 blockers active, and I swing a big 8 to lead. My opponent he's going to give me a 2K to go up to 7, go up to 8, and one more would get him the successful block. Yep, and he goes to 9K. And then I pass. I do not use leader ability. So I have 2 blockers up, 2 life, pretty wide board, kind of putting my opponent into a corner right here. His options are to play a blocker and to remove something, but you know, with the beige on the field, it's really, really hard to do. So we are just patiently waiting to see what my opponent does here. I didn't want to commit with the blocker, with my blocker law, so just playing it slow. There's no reason to rush. So my opponent's going to swing 5 to my leader, and I would give a 1K. He reduces beige down to 0. He plays a Brook, KOs my beige, which is amazing, right? That beige pretty much just saved blocker law from getting KO'd. It saved Cavendish from getting KO'd. Really, really cool card right there. Makes this deck actually playable against black. My opponent swings 6 to life. I give a 2K, scratch mana pool. All right. And, you know, we are just slowly defending everything. I'm trying to keep as much. Well, he swings another 5. I give a 1K. Let's see how much Don he has left. 1, 2, 3, 4 Don active. And he still has his leader swing. And a brand new, potentially. Looking at his grave right here. Possibly going for a Rebecca play. Like I said earlier, his options were to remove something and then to play something from his trash or play a blocker. So let's see what he ends up opting for right here. So let's get back to God Hand though, right? Like God hand play early, and then my opponent just concedes right there. He just realizes that there's nothing much that he could do, and that's going to be game. So, God hand. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But what I think about, my honest opinions about God hand is like, if you build your deck in a certain way with specific ratios, you should be able to draw and see what you need. Yes, getting a few cards in hand early is amazing, but seeing and being okay with, not having the greatest hand but still making it work is the key to being a good player, I feel. Early there, I searched the 7-drop law and the Cavendish early, which ended up being pivotal in my match. Anytime you play against a black deck, it's not easy. Obviously, going into this matchup, I was already looking for my beiges. So beige was one of the cards that I was looking for in my opening hand. I believe I had one because I don't remember grabbing one off search. So I drew or had my beiges already in hand. So, beige is going to be a huge addition. It's going to be a huge power up against any black deck. So if you're playing against black, if you're playing against heavy removal, blue decks that run Gravity Blade or stuff that bounces to hand, beige is going to be your savior. The blocker beige, not the 2K. The 2K is good in and of itself, but we're talking about the blocker. You seen right there, every time I threw a blocker down, it completely stopped anything that my opponent was trying to do. He had to completely focus on the beige while everything else on the board remained unscathed. So what did we learn from this game? We learned that if you go first and you hit Cavendish on 5 and you do the Cavendish beige 2K combo into another 5 cost and then bring in the blocker beige off that blocker lot potentially. I know I just did a whole bunch of word mumbo jumbo, but if you caught along, that combo is insanely strong. And then on top of that, if you hit a 7 law on your following turn on 7 Dawn, like the curve is just so hard to come back from. So there you have it. That was this game against starter deck Black Luffy. Hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and learned something. Don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let me know in the comments which leader you want me to play next. I have a couple of Calgara games. And then I have a couple of buggy games that I have recorded, but I also have a good amount of yellow green law. So if you guys want to keep seeing these yellow green law games and breakdowns, let me know in the comments. Or if you guys want to see me to switch it up, also let me know. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.